Mike Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor. Welcome to my YouTube station. It's the home of the 5 minute or less video. Thank you for watching. I have a whole team of former IRS agents on staff. I've been on the news many times. I worked for IRS for a decade. I've been in private practice for 4 decades. I've been doing this for 50 years. You can look at my team and all my national broadcasts at 777irs.com. I do these videos for 3 reasons so you don't get ripped off. I give you insider information, and this is one of the things I'm going to do today. And I try to educate you, and today is going to be one of those days. Today I want to talk to you about getting a tax audit. And what most people don't know is when you get a notice for tax audit, this may turn into a 3-year audit, and you are not aware of that, nor will you ever be aware of that until the audit starts going on. And you're going to find out you're not just going to have 1 year audited, you're going to have 3 years audited, and that's one of the worst things that can really happen. Are there ways to prevent this? Yes. Are these foolproof ways? No. But by following what I'm doing, you can kind of minimize this. When the agent gets into your 1 year audit and they start to feel this case is getting loose, that is, you don't have a lot of records, this audit probably is going to look like a 3-year audit. One of the ways to kind of, and I'm not guaranteeing this, but one of the ways you can kind of keep it to one is hiring, to be honest, a former IRS agent who can try to guide this. Now, I can't say that foolproof, because we have had cases that go to 3 years that we didn't think they were ready. They weren't suspect to go there. But we can generally, or any former IRS can usually keep the case within the rails of 1 year. How does that happen? Well, the agent, someone like me, even though I was a revenue officer, I have many agents that work with me. Herb Cantor's our former IRS agent audit specialist. If the records start getting loose and sloppy and the substantiation really isn't there and you don't have much record keeping, the IRS agent's thinking, man, I can expand this to 3 years and really look like a hero to my manager, because it's not about the money collected. It's just about, hey, I got 3 years worth of audits here, and I'm going to get 3 years worth of probably an agreed settlement here, because the records are so bad. Well, how do you really stop that from happening? You have to kind of contain that when the audit's taking place. Most of the people that call us, I ask them on a 1 to 10 how good their records are. Generally, the answer is they're anywhere from 2 to 5, 2 to 6. They're kind of in that range. Nobody usually calls us over a 7 or an 8. It's rare, but it does happen. But when your records are starting to get sloppy and you're sensing the auditor feels this, you want to get in reconstruction mode where you're saying, hey, I may not have this document. However, IRS knows that reconstructive methods are available. So you'd go to reconstruction to show them that 1 year is not as bad as it looks. I'll give you a perfect example. Is it perfect? Nah, but it's close enough. So let's say IRS is auditing a painter, for instance. You have a black cat, so be very careful. Let's say IRS is auditing a painter, and the painter says, I don't really have any records. I'm a very poor record keeper, but hey, I made $100,000, but what are you going to do? Is all that going to be income because I made all those deposits? Well, here's what you do. Well, you take 1 month and you look at the travel for 1 month and the jobs. Let's say that he painted 3 homes within a given month. Well, you would look at the size of the home, you look at the paint that was required, you look at the travel, you look at the brushes, you look at the rollers, you look at masking tape, and you would put together what the average expenses were for that job. You don't want IRS just to say, well, I made $8,000 from that job. Well, the truth is, You may have had about $3,000 in expenses. So what I mean about getting the case loose, you want to right away show IRS that you can reconstruct those records to show that audit is not going to be as bad as it is. Usually an agent will go ahead and expand these records when they see the records are really, really loose and there's no rhyme or reason. Generally, a good agent, a former agent, can kind of control that by doing that reconstruction ahead of time and kind of negotiating a little with the agent because they know they're speaking to another agent. Does it work all the time? No, but it works a good majority of the time. So anyway, if you think that your records are loose and you want to do this yourself, kind of go ahead and do the reconstruction ahead of time. But at the end of the day, do I think you should do this by yourself? I'm honest enough to tell you, listen, we got enough work here. I don't care whether you do this by yourself. Don't go ahead and be getting no 3-year audit because it's going to cost you. It's going to hit your pocketbook pretty hard. Anyway, give me a subscription. You heard the truth today. Ask me questions. Leave me a comment. Tell me you like my rock, my hat. Just leave me something. Anyway, I appreciate you listening more. I appreciate the subscription. Thank you.